Traditionally, the Bundesliga is one of the most exciting divisions in Europe to shop for Wonderkids, up-and-coming stars. And this season has been no different at all. Some of the biggest breakout stars, some of the biggest headline makers across world football this season have came from the Bundesliga, whether it be amazing performances domestically or some of these guys are actually translating that now to the highest level with Champions League performances as well. In the video today, I'll be giving my top 3 world-class talents to come out of the Bundesliga this season, as well as a couple of doppelgangers, some guys that are doing quite similar, maybe not quite hitting the same heights as these guys, that you can get into your fantasy football squads for a much cheaper price. If you're new to Sorare and you haven't even started your account yet, there's a link in the description in this video that will get you a free limited card once you've bought 5 from the market. Those cards can be any price at all, 10 pence, £10, £100, it doesn't matter. The card you get, you can keep it, you can sell it, you can do anything you want with it. It's the best way to start playing Sorare. It's the way everyone starts, and if you open an account without hitting that link in the description, you're going to be 1 card worse off than everyone else. At any point in the video today, if you laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and let's get stuck into it. Now, the number 1 story to come out of the Bundesliga so far this season for me is undoubtedly Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham made headlines across the world when he made a £30+ million transfer at the age of 16 from Championship side Birmingham City to make the move to Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. And this season, his scores and his performances on the pitch have been world class. He's got 3 scores of 100. 3 times this season, he scored 100 out of 100 fantasy points. One occasion, he fell just short as well, coming in with 96, playing for England against Germany. He wins the ball, he moves transition, he breaks the lines, he gets goals, he gets assists, and he's already wearing the captain's armband for Dortmund. He's shown real leadership quality. Coming into this World Cup this year, at 19 years of age, he is set to be one of the contenders for the Golden Boy Award. But at 19, this is only going to be his first World Cup. The ceiling for this guy is absolutely massive. Similarly to Jude Bellingham, Manu Quinny has had a very impressive second season in the Bundesliga. Recently with Mönchengladbach almost getting some form back together, he's been one of the mainstays in midfield. And again, he's very much responsible for transitioning the ball from defence into attack. He tackles, he intercepts, he wins his duels, and he can crop up with a couple of decisives a season in terms of goals and assists. This guy looks to me to be the next kind of modern box-to-box centre-back that France has produced, that one of the most elite clubs in Europe is probably going to be sniffing around, either in this international break for the World Cup or in the summer. Christoph Baumgartner has been making headlines for Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim have started this season incredibly well in the Bundesliga, one of the best defences and one of the most exciting attacks to watch in the division. And Christoph Baumgartner is one of the ones that has been making the most headlines. His SO5 scores haven't been obscenely incredible, but as you can see, he gets the job done. 3 goals and 2 assists, and he's won a penalty already this season. And, you know, he'll be coming out of U23 in 2 years from now. But compared to the price of Bellingham being an absolute fraction, and even compared to Quinny being even cheaper than him, Christoph Baumgartner for me is great bang for buck on Sorare at the moment. Now, Jamal Musiala was earning plaudits worldwide for some of the silky interplay that he is really like. Jamal Musiala, number 1, is broke into a Bayern Munich team that is absolutely jam-packed full of world-class midfield quality. And he's not only done that, but he's done it in his own way, in his own style. He's so eye-catching, he's so breathtaking. And the way he can fit into that Bayern Munich attack has been absolutely stunning to watch. He will be probably one of the big players for Germany come the World Cup, not England. And as we look at his performances over this season so far, very similar to Bellingham. He maybe suffers from not getting as many minutes, but wow, 5 goals, 6 assists, and he's won a penalty as well, and 12 starts and 5 appearances from the bench. Jamal Musiala has really announced himself at the age of 19 now on the world stage. In terms of a Sorare card, it's going to cost you about £5,000 for a rare, just under £400 for a limited, so a very pretty penny to get Jamal Musiala into your club. Relatively similar to Jamal Musiala has been Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, he moved into Leipzig for big money and a big reputation, and it didn't really work out too great last year, but this year he has really hit the ground running, especially under Marco Rose over the last month or two, and it feels like he's going to be delivering on his promise of being the Hungarian Kevin De Bruyne. His L5 is 70. His limited can be got for about £100. His rare is about £1,000, which is 20% the price of a Musiala. He will be under 23 until 2025. So Dominic Szoboszlai, I think, is a great doppelganger on Jamal Musiala. Even cheaper than him, quite similar in performance, but maybe not in consistency, has been long. I've been a long admirer of this guy on the channel, Jesper Lundstrom, last year's Europa League winners with Frankfurt, and having a very good Champions League performance, it must be said. Jesper Lundstrom has been one of the attacking outlets that he's one of these guys that punches and bunches. You know, he's not maybe quite at the level of Musiala or Szoboszlai yet, but he's very effective. He's a main player for Frankfurt. And again, he's under 23 until 2024. And I feel that his performances this year have kind of furthered the performances he had last year and really cementing his reputation as being an up-and-coming modern kind of forward. He's definitely not a striker. He's definitely not a winger. He's one of these modern forwards like Musiala that plays in a lot of different tactical positions depending on the game state. And again, for his price, an absolute fraction of the other guys that we've looked at that are quite similar in play style. I think Jesper Lundstrom with Denmark could be a very viable international card as well. Now, I said at the beginning of the season, Jeremy Frimpong is probably the number one young attacking fullback in Europe outside of the elite 5 or 6 teams, that is, you know. And his form this season, on SO5, it's been up and down. He's had some terrible scores, but he has broke 100. He has broke 91 already. And Leverkusen have been using him more as a kind of right winger rather than a right back. He's been linked to Manchester United. He's been linked to the good and the great of European football, because if you're looking for a modern attacking right back, Jeremy Frimpong is your man if you're at the top end of the game. And whoever does get Frimpong is going to get a real attacking outlet added into their team. Slightly more expensive in actual fact than Frimpong, I've been equally as impressed with Mohamed Simakan, the latest French defender off the Red Bull Leipzig conveyor belt after they've sold Upamecano to Bayern Munich, Konate to Liverpool, and Mukiele now going to PSG in that window there. Simakan has really stepped up in the right back, right centre back position. Depending on the formation, under Marco Rosa, it feels much more like a 4 at the back, and Simakan subsequently has been played more at right back, and his scores have been tremendous. He does suffer from a bit of rotation, which is why I put him behind Frimpong, because Frimpong is clearly number one, whereas Leipzig have been managing their minutes across European and domestic competitions. But Simakan, at the age of 22, he will be under 23 eligible on Sorare until 2024. I think he is going to be joining that list I just gave you, former Leipzig French defenders that will become mainstays across elite European football for the next 10 years or so in the defensive positions. I could really go back into Leverkusen and look at all of their defence. I'm a big fan of Tapsoba, I'm a big fan of Odilon, but it would be really remiss of me to not give the mention to Piero Hincapié, who at left back, left centre back, at the age of 20, will be going to the World Cup as well, I believe, with Ecuador. His limited at the moment is just under £30. His rare is just over £300. And he, again, very similar to Frimpong, will transfer either in the international window or in the summer, and he will make the step up to being a higher calibre SO5 player than what he's been so far at Leverkusen. He has suffered with some injury and he has suffered with some rotation, but this guy in the right team is a bit of a sleeper card, I think, because when you watch him, he's clearly quality and he just needs the right environment to come on and actually flourish. I'm always interested in picking up-and-coming guys in the Bundesliga because they transfer to the biggest and best teams in world football, and in the Global Fantasy Sorare SO5 arena, I like having those prospects in my club that can help me win the good and the great of world football already. I love getting guys that are kind of just bubbling under the radar, about to break through, maybe haven't quite realised their potential, and using guys like Bellingham, like Musiala, like Frimpong as the template of where they get to when they get to their absolute peak of their powers is a good barometer to then work backwards and think who plays like them, who's similar, who do I also enjoy watching, who costs a fraction of the price. Let me know in the comment section who you would add in from the Bundesliga, who has been the biggest, most exciting breakout star that you've seen across the division. I'd be really interested to catch that in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and retweet and all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.